What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is finally time to address the lack of a center console here in the D100 shop truck project. So if you've been watching for a while, I've made several attempts at building something for here, and nothing has really turned out the way that I want it. Things that I want, things that I don't want. I don't want this thing to look like it came out of some J.C. Whitney catalog. You know, I don't want one of those, I don't want it to look like one of those, you know, like bench seat center consoles that has the storage, a couple cup holders in it. I don't want it to look like that. But what I do want is this thing to kind of be modular in a way. I want it, so first I want to be able to remove the front section on its own without having to remove everything else. In case I ever need to get access to the transmission, you know, to the access panel there for the transmission, I want to be able to remove, let's say, like the front section without having to remove everything else. Another thing that I want is I do want maybe an armrest here, you know, something, just kind of give this some shape. And again, that'll be removable on its own. Another thing is the shifter cover. So the shifter cover also is going to be removable without having to remove anything else on the center console. I want to be able to get to the shifter, to do any maintenance to it, any adjustments, anything like that, without having to remove everything else. So I actually started working on this thing yesterday, and the hardest part to work on is the shifter cover. So I started off building this wire frame. Now I did have this shifter cover in place, and this is kind of the idea I'm going to go with for the new one. And I wanted this to be larger. When I built this, I mean, it turned out really well. It's just there were some things that needed to be adjusted with that. So I made this wire frame that gave me the shape that I needed for the shifter. There's a previous attempt at a center console. So then I made this. So this 1/2-inch square tubing is going to bolt to the metal frame that's already in the truck. And then I started making the shifter cover. So it has to have this bowed shape because of the shift indicator kind of makes this arch pattern. So I based it off of that. And then I built a metal frame so that this section will be removable so I can get to the shifter. So getting to this part pretty much took the better part of yesterday. It was really just a matter of getting this shape just the way that I wanted it. I did have to bend the edges over. You can see I did some of that work on my shrinker stretcher. I actually originally, since I had bent this, I used a tipping die on my bead roller to start the edge, and that worked to a point, but it kind of messed up my fold here. So this thing still needs some more work, some more cleaning up of, you know, some of the marks in it. But that for now is a good starting point. Now I think I'm going to start working on, this is actually where the back part's going to go. So I think I'm going to work on this section next. I swear guys, most of the time on a project like this is not spent on the actual building of the item. Most of the time spent is the amount of time that you sit here staring, playing with welding wire or metal rod or something, and sitting here trying to come up with ideas of how to make this work, how to get the look you want. Yeah, I've probably sat here for hours staring at different points in this build. Yeah. All right, so today has been mostly about the cardboard aided design. I got the shifter section all kind of figured out, and then I decided to work on the front where it goes up to the main dash. All right, so here's the whole shifter thing. I got everything all worked out. The framework's all good. It's in there nice and solid. And I started working on the front part. So I built just a 1/2-inch square tubing frame. And this is going to be recessed. I'm thinking for, like, you know, someplace to toss your phone, whatever else. There'll be a little recess so stuff doesn't go flying. This area over here is going to be 2 cup holders. And then back here will be the armrest area. But what I wanted for the front, for this panel, I wanted to mimic the angle of the dash. So the original dash comes down at about 59 degrees, 60 degrees. So I wanted this to be the same angle, just reversed. I got within 3 degrees, and that's not bad for just kind of eyeballing and taking some pretty rough measurements. It all based off this rectangle frame, or 1/2-inch square tubing frame. That's it. Which I have clamped in place right now. Like I said, I'm going to build a recess, find a way to attach all that. Like I said, I want this entire section to be removable on its own. So I got to take that into account. But this is the panel that's going to be the front dash, and I'm going to add probably like this detail right here in the dash. I'm probably going to duplicate that in the bottom. So it just kind of matches, ties it all together, and then obviously be someplace for, you know, radio and maybe, I don't know, whatever else. And then I still got to work back here. But yeah, today has been just a cluster. I was trying to build a 1/2-inch square tubing frame for the front there, but I was starting to deal with, you know, compound angles, and it just was not working out. So that's why I turned to the CAD, decided I'm just going to make the front panel, and then once that's made, then I can figure out if I need any framework to kind of tie it all together. We'll see. I think with the bead in there and then other details, it might be sturdy enough. It might not need a bead roll. It might not need a frame. Yeah, but I'm wiped. I'm gonna have date night with the wife and kid. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. So back on this tomorrow. All right, guys, so I got up early this morning, got an early start. I mean, you can see my garage is a wreck, but I got up early this morning, and that chipboard template, this one right here, the chipboard template that I made for the front part of the dash, well, turned it into sheet metal. My bead rolling work really needs help. Trying to, you know, run the sheet metal through the bead roller while manipulating the handle on this side, it just, yeah, I need more practice. But all I did was I just tack welded it to the bottom there, and then I got a couple of self tappers kind of help and secure everything, just two, one on each side going up through the top. So now you can hopefully see kind of what my plan for this thing is. So this angle on the panel matches this angle of the dash. The bead roll detail is pretty close to that one right there. And then this area is going to be like a little recessed area, you know, place to toss your phone, whatever. Probably a couple of cup holders here, and then the armrest will go up back here. But I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up for this video. I am way behind on getting this out. Today is Wednesday. I normally try to release on Mondays, but just life. So I'm going to go edit all the footage I have now, and then I'll get back to work on this. So appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch you on the next one.